Welcome back, everybody. It is Saturday, the 18th of Feb, 2023, and this is episode 49, which means we're a day away from episode 50, and I don't even know the math on that. What is it, like 1/7 of the way through? But yeah, I didn't want to do this today. I'm gonna be completely honest. So I'm just drinking my electrolyte drink or whatever because I want to go for a run later. But I didn't want to do this today, and I think a large part of that is just because I have the last couple of days just been feeling not very well, and like not very well. I want to say mentally. I'm feeling significantly better mentally than I was last year. But I think this is like that yo-yo, right? It's like you work a little bit on something and then it's going to dip a little bit. Like not every day is going to be good. And I just feel like there's a trend of me talking negatively, or at least, maybe overanalyzing things or thinking too much about things, or I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm doing too much. I got a lot of things I want to do. I bought a saxophone last year that I need to get repaired, or I could spend time repairing it myself. Maybe I'll love it more. I've got a guitar that I want to learn to play. I got ideas for books and stories and shit that I want to write. I got a lot of things that I want to do, but I just I don't know what to pick to do to start, and whether I should. And then I start projects like this, where I sit down in front of a microphone and I just talk about what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. And I think it'd be good to go back and listen to this one day, maybe. Not maybe, I'll definitely go back and listen to it at different points. I think it'll be interesting to hear where I go, like where I started out from at the beginning of this year, and then where I end up on the 1st of Jan 2024. I've already made significant improvements to my life, to my physical health, to my mental health, to my daily routines, the different things I'm doing. And I just start to feel like I'm not doing enough, but also if I do any more, I'll burn out. And so I'm in this weird mind state where mind state where I want to accomplish a lot of things. But I guess if I was to use it like an anecdote, it'd be like, I want to fill my plate with all the different things that I could eat, but my stomach's only going to fit so much, and so I've just got to make sure that I stick to the three basic principles, which is health, wealth, and happiness. Those are the three things. And the last couple of days, I just haven't been feeling as happy. And I don't know if that's just because I'm run down, because I've been doing so much. It's hard to make this commitment to sitting down and journaling every day. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's an easy thing. 49 days of sitting down for 10 to 20 minutes just talking to myself and trying to think of a new thing every day to talk about, and so that it doesn't get repetitive and it doesn't get boring. I'm making sure that I'm like moving forward. Am I getting 1% better every day? I guess so. I'm getting more efficient. Maybe I need to talk about the things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had growing up, and the life that I've been able to live so far, and the lessons that I've learned from all the people that have either been consistent players in my life game, or whether they've just come and gone. I'm grateful specifically for my mum and her determination to be a good mum. There are a lot of mums out there, a lot of women out there that have kids that are accessories and not, don't recognize that they're little human beings. And my mum always made sure that she spoke to my sister and I like we were little adults. I never really got treated like I was a baby or like a kid. I asked questions and she would dance around those. And sometimes she would just give me the straight up answer, and I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my stepdad, the man who taught me how to shave, how to mow a lawn, saw, I don't know, just appreciates me for who I am, and is able to, the first male figure in my life that I don't know, was there for me in a significant way. You know, I had like male figures. Mum used to work full-time, single mum, so we used to go to the school age care, like the after school care, and there was a man there named Brian, and he always had my back, but it only was like when I was there, you know what I mean? And even then even though he had my back, it was like he was also in charge of this daycare program, so I never got special treatment necessarily, but he would look out for me in I felt safe around him, you know. And growing up without a dad, I don't know if anyone, if it's relatable for everybody, but just a bit of perspective on that. It's, you know, it's tough being an adult man now. My relationship with men is a little strange. My trust in older men is a little strange, and you know, I never really played any like team sports or anything. I never played like footy or basketball or anything like that. So I never really had like that camaraderie as well among like my peers as I was growing up. And so the first time I had a male teacher was in year 6, and he was, you know, looking back on it, he was tough but fair. Like he was just a normal dude. Like he was just a male teacher, right? But I had female teachers growing up. Mum had female friends. You know, there was never any like real consistent partners or boyfriends that stuck around. And a lot of them weren't there for me or for my sister. They were there for mum. And so, you know, there was no real like male figures until I get into year 6. And then, because I didn't do my schoolwork, I couldn't concentrate very much. I didn't like to, you know, I felt uncomfortable in his classroom, because I didn't know adult males, right? I didn't know how to be around them. I was like a target in a way. And so I'd like get blamed for things. I'd get called out in the class. Like, when I say blamed for things, if someone was talking next to me, they'd be like, hey, you know, tell me to be quiet. I didn't want to go to the last day of school. I won't go into that story, but he ended up passing me, I guess, just so he didn't have to deal with me again. But I went back and I visited a couple years later, and he saw me. I was visiting the school, I was visiting the principal. I was, you know, in year 8 maybe, I can't remember. And I saw this teacher, and he said, homework, because I never handed in homework. And that was what he remembered me as. He just, you know. And so as much as I didn't like this teacher, I think that he sort of, it's not that I didn't like him, I didn't understand him. I didn't know how to be around adult men. And so I was always intimidated by them. I was always, I guess fearful is a word, I don't know. Just not trusting. And I think a large part of that was because I grew up with a single mum who also didn't trust adult men, you know. And so it's weird transitioning into adulthood and now being an adult who more often than not deals with adult men. But it's also interesting, by being raised by a single mum, by being raised by, you know, like a largely feminine force. She had some masculine qualities, and she was able to be a mum and a dad for so long. But she was a huge feminine force in my life. And so I got to understand women in a different way. And I also got to understand my emotions in a different way. And so growing up, I could see these other men, these other boys turning into men, or my peers, or my friends, and even going into workplaces, colleagues. And I could see that these men didn't have that feminine side in a weird way. And so I always grew up with that with like an attachment to I don't know if the word is my femininity, right? Like I feel like we're all split down the middle, like the yin and the yang, right? Like you have to be in touch with that feminine side, with that your emotions and I want to say others, right? Like I feel like that feminine side is about extending beyond yourself, in a deeper and more meaningful way, like understanding the intricacies of a relationship, understanding the nuances of someone's thoughts. And then that masculine side is about being tough and brave and courageous and so I'm grateful to my stepdad for bringing that into my life, because I don't know who I would be without that guidance and that influence and that, knowing that I can talk to another adult male about, adult male issues, and that he could confide in me, without judgment. And I think in a way I might have helped him, be able to get in touch a bit more with that side, that feminine side that allows you to see things from other people's perspective, put yourself in other people's shoes, you have to let down that masculinity to allow in that femininity in a weird way. I'm probably butchering this. There's probably like science and shit that you can listen to that's not me. I'm just talking about it, but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my little sister. She's been around my whole life. And even though we have our issues and our differences, and we are different people and we were raised differently, in the same household, I think that there's one thing that can't be taken away from us, and that's that shared upbringing, that we were there both through it all. And even though our perspective is different, we both understand, in a weird way, we get it, I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my partner, my beautiful wife, Maddie. She... I don't even have the words. She's just the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm so happy that she's sticking around. And even though sometimes I forget that she's an ally, and sometimes I treat her like she's the enemy, I'm grateful that she sticks around, and I'm grateful that we can have our conversations and we can work through things, and that there's unconditional love there. I'm grateful for my friends. This is turning into a gratitude journal, hey? I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for all of my friends, everybody since I was a kid, I could sit here and start listing names, but I don't think that's necessary. I think if you listen to this and you're my friend, or you have been my friend in the past, thank you. And I guess, lastly, I'm grateful for myself, hey? I feel like that's an important one to mention. I'm grateful for me. I'm grateful for being resilient. I'm grateful for my perseverance. I'm grateful for my commitment. All of that I'm grateful for in myself, and that I'm proud of in myself, I owe to the people that I mentioned just before, because without them I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be doing this. And sitting down and doing this podcast is a challenge some days, and I don't want it to be a negative thing. I don't want it to be a thing where I sit down and whoever listens to this just hears me ramble on about all the things that are going on in my life that are negative. Because there are, you can't have the good without the bad. So there's going to be bad. There's going to be negative and challenging things, instances. There's going to be obstacles, but I think that it's kind of the whole point of this, right? Is to sit down and talk through those. and just remember that what we say is what we think, and what we think is who we are. And so if I sit here and I say negative things, it's because I'm thinking negative things. And if I'm thinking negative things, that makes me a negative person. And so I want to get on here and talk about all the things that I'm grateful for and happy about. And maybe we'll start to change the tune of this a little bit as we go, and don't rush. That's the other thing I need to remember. Don't rush. I only just started this. We're not even 50 episodes in. Tomorrow we will be, but we're not even 50 episodes into this now, and I'm already thinking about all the changes I could make and all the things I want to do, and we're only 50 days into the year. There's still 215 days left, which means 315 days left. Dang, dude, there's still a lot of year left, and I'm gonna sit here and complain that I haven't done enough, and we barely just begun. So enjoy your day. Thank you for listening. If you found this helpful at all, leave a comment. If you listen to the whole thing, if you get to this point, maybe I should put a call of action earlier in the thing on. Share it to your socials. Tag me in it. I might actually put my Instagram on my YouTube so that people can see who I am. And yeah, be grateful for what you've got.